Yo, what is up? I'm Zach. Welcome back to my channel of RWBY Mythology. Today I give you guys another RWBY versus RWBY matchup video. And this been on my mind, and this is very, very interested. I ever wonder, what would it be like if Qrow actually did square off against Ironwood in Volume 8? And who actually would win between them two? I'm surprised no one even debated on this, and I seen one fan art of it, which you guys will see it later on after I get through with the characters of their skills, their abilities, so on and so forth. And yeah, it's just so basically I'll be focusing on them when they're at the volume 8, because well, you will find out why I'm choosing these two characters in their volume 8 version. So yeah, again, this is my personal opinion about who I believe actually will win. And yeah, if you believe one of these characters actually will win, let me know in the comments down below. Tell me a good reason why. So yeah, with that out of the way, let us begin. So Qrow Bronwen was a part of a tribe when he was a kid, along with his sister Raven, until Ozpin found them and gave Qrow the ability to turn into bird, which is a crow. And Raven and Qrow were been part of the Beacon Academy, and they were formed as a team with Ty and Summer Rose, led by Team Stark. And Qrow is actually part of the inner circle that Ozpin trusted the most. So Qrow is actually part of the inner circle, and he is well skilled and mastered and well trained huntresses, or the true huntsman. That's why everybody calls him a true huntsman. And he is skilled as a fighter when it comes to weaponry, and also the only hand-to-hand combat he does is just punching and kicking, basic like boxing stuff like that. So yeah, for Qrow's age is actually remains unknown. I honestly don't know how old Qrow is in Volume 8. If I had to guess, he is somewhere of his mid-30s, I think. He's somewhere of his mid-30s. And Qrow does have an aura, which is a soul, which is a barrier shield to protect you from any harm. And his weapon is, well, I cannot butcher the name because I cannot remember the name, is a big huge sword that could transform to a gun. And also, well, actually turn into a gun, because he has like a shotgun range as part of it. And also he could transform his sword to a scythe. And he could turn his, thanks to the upgrade that he got from Atlas, he can make a arm bladed from underneath his arm, like a whatchamacallit, the cops use, the friggin' stick that had the handle or whatever. It's basically what Qrow does, but it has formed into his on form and transformation of a scythe as a small hilt. Fits well for the hand-to-hand combat or something like that. And of course, Qrow does have the ability to turn into bird, and his semblance is misfortune, or aka bad luck. Basically, cause any bad luck that ever happens around, which that literally happens to him like all the time in the entire since volume 4 through 8. So yeah, so basically that's basically it for Qrow. James Ironwood is the Atlas military soldier that was born in Atlas and basically been in Atlas Academy as a kid and became part of the Atlas military until later on he became a headmaster and a general to the Atlas military and Atlas Academy, and also part of Ozpin Inner Circle to defeat Salem. And Ironwood is, well, again, he's a military, and he's basically skilled when it comes to hand-to-hand combat, and his entire body part is basically just robots. So we honestly don't know how he actually loses it. I mean, we already know how he lost his other arm when he has that black mechanical arm, but his other body part, which we saw in Volume 3, that he has his chest and his right side of his chest towards attached to his arm are now cybernetic. So we honestly don't know how he lost that arm. So yeah, and some people say that Ironwood had a cybernetic eye because when he confronted Winter and Ironwood had a little bit of tear come down his eye, just only his left side, but not his right. And of course, he does have an aura, similar thing, like, you know, barrier, shield, it's basically part of your soul, etc. And his melee weapon, or it's actually his dual pistol, will only have a light dust. Was basically kill. I think that's the only weapon he actually used the most. It's basically a light dust that actually can kill people. I mean, he did kill one of the council men and almost tried to kill Morrow. And none of that, he used his weapon for in hand-to-hand combat, is like when he fought against Watts and against of hacking drones that it was had by Roman. And his semblance is actually called metal, Meetle, which means that it's complicated to explain what the fuck that means. Basically about the machine parts of him, or the way he's acting. Some people say his semblance is fucking him up. It's pretty much about his brain, his mind, is made him feel this way, how he was in Volume 8 and Volume 7. And it's just, I can't even explain of his semblance. It's really, really complicated for me. I honestly forgot what it actually means. But it's really, really difficult for me to explain. So yeah, that's basically it for Ironwood. Now, I want to get my thoughts on who I believe who actually would win. Well, the fight between Qrow and Ironwood would be very interested, but if this happened in Volume 8, I could see this. It could be a fucking bloodbath. So, let's set up this fight and set up this scenario. This battle takes place where Ironwood is at his office, just like we all know, and Qrow is about to go, you know, face him in 1v1 and deal with this, want to get revenge on Ironwood. So that's basically where the fight would take place, is Ironwood's office. So we're going to start off the story. The story sets off after the conversation with Robin and Qrow, where Qrow is infuriated and Robin trying to stop him, but no matter how she tries, she couldn't do nothing about it. And so basically actually, let me rewind that. Let me take that back. Robin did help Qrow to convince not to do it, but when they were interrupted, thanks to Robin saying that they consider Qrow as the best out of everyone, until Winter and Muriel showed up. When we hear Winter said, "Speaking of help," so they wanted to come up with a plan, and they wonder what this is about, but Qrow doesn't care. He tells them, "Get out of my way, I'm dealing with Ironwood myself." And Winter was about to tell Qrow about what Ironwood was planning, and Qrow's already aware of this, and he doesn't care. He wants to deal with Ironwood before he causes any more damage. So he threatens them to get out of my way, or you will end up the same fate. So Qrow is long gone. He let his anger get to the better of him. When he got in the elevator, it's just Robin, Winter, and Muriel on their own to come up with a plan on how to take out Ironwood, but they need to stop Qrow before he actually does kill Ironwood. They don't want to kill him, they just want him to stop. But in the elevator, Qrow pulls out the pin that belongs to Clover. And he's getting a flashback of when he hears his voice speaking to Clover, to his dying word. And we hear Clover's voice said, "Good luck." And Qrow clenched upon his fist and said, "I'm gonna need all the luck I could get." And Qrow, the door opened from the elevator. Qrow walks out, pulls out his weapon and sword, and he heads down to Leo's office. And Leo is not Leo. Why did I say Leo? Ironwood is in his office, looking out his window, seeing the outcome of the Atlas, what is going on right now. So Ironwood was just standing there until he turns around, until he hears the word James, and Ironwood turns around with a concern and shocking in his face, sees Qrow standing with his weapon in hand, and has the pin of Clover on his collar, and a little bit of dry blood on the pin. Ironwood is furious that he was about to say something, but Qrow had enough. He doesn't want to hear it. He's gonna kill him, and he said, "I'm gonna make you pay for the things you have done." And Ironwood asked, "You really want to go down this way? You really gonna kill me, just like you killed with Clover?" And Qrow said, "I didn't kill Clover. Tyrion did. And you don't believe me? And you call martial law? That crossed the line, James. I said this once before to Oscar, and I'm gonna say it to you. James is a friend who called me. For you, is General." And Ironwood pulls out his pistol, about to shoot Qrow, but he dodged it. Turned to a bird and transformed back to his base form. Jumped in the air and punch Ironwood right in the face. And the fight between Qrow and Ironwood spawns on. The fight between them is bloody, bloodbath, brutal. Fist and fist, neck to neck, kicking and punching. Qrow takes the punch. Even Ironwood could feel the punch. Keep this in mind. Qrow's punch is actually a lot hurt when he actually did it to Tyrion. And it actually does hurt Ironwood, but Ironwood does take the beating. And even Ironwood pulls out his his dual pistols, shooting at Qrow, but Qrow blocks all the bullet with his sword, and he transformed form his sword into a gun so he could shoot at Ironwood, but Ironwood flip his desk, use it as a cover, and he shoots Qrow's right back, and Qrow just dodging the bullet the best he can. And he decided to change his weapon to an arm-blading scythe, slicing out the desk in half, which made Ironwood move out of the way. And the fight between them is gun and blazing. Like, similar to the fight between Watson and Ironwood. Basically the same, but it's in the office. They just literally fight inside the office. There was a time where Ironwood actually punched Qrow in the face, that Qrow actually hit the glass window. It actually shattered, but he has the plan. But he decided to transform his sword, his arm-blading scythe, into actually full scythe mode. And Qrow has the upper hand, and Ironwood tried his best to dodge all the attack from the scythe. But both of their aura are started flickering at each other. And they both really are exhausted and tired. And Ironwood wants Qrow to give up and surrender and face your crime. And Qrow said, "I would rather died." And Ironwood's like, very well then. He pulls out, he has one bullet left, and he started to shoot Qrow, but Qrow blocks it. Qrow jumps and teleports as a bird, and Qrow turns back to human form and kick Ironwood to the window, and Ironwood was about to fall until he grabbed his hand on the end of the edge of his office, and Qrow looks at Ironwood holding barely for his life, and Ironwood is asking for help to get him up, and Qrow just give him this menacing, pissed off look that he could feel the vengeance badly come to an end. And Qrow once said, and Qrow will say, that, this is your bad luck. But to me, it's good luck for me. And Qrow turns his sword into a gun and shoots Ironwood in the head. Ironwood's dead body falls off. It falls to the ground. Ironwood gets shot in the head, and his arm released the grip by getting shot in the head, falls down, and land to the ground that he cannot survive. And Muriel, Winter, and Robin shows up and see Qrow standing tall and looking at the window and in the glass and how the destruction in the office is. And they only hear Qrow said, "It's finally over." And I declare Qrow Bronwen, the former member of Team Stark and the former member of the Bronwen tribe, the winner. Well, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Let me know your opinions down below in the comments down below. Do you guys agree that Qrow actually won this fight, or you guys believe that Ironwood should have won this fight? Let me know in the comments down below. Tell me what you guys think. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Links to my other channels, my social medias, and my Discord server. All of that will be down below in the description box. You guys know the drill. Again, like, comment, share, subscribe, and I'll see you guys later. RWBY is love, RWBY is life. Keep moving forward, and I'll see you guys later.